There's a new face roaming the halls of Burnsville High School. Interim athletics director Guillaume Paek spends his days overseeing Blaze athletics. But before he was the boss, he was the athlete, and a pretty good one at that.
Hello, this is Guillaume.
Guillaume Paek is just months into his new position at Burnsville High School.
This is all the paperwork from our quiz bowl, all the people that we're paying.
And with a new job comes new challenges.
Trying to prioritize, going through these emails.
An attribute he learned from years on the gridiron. With Division I and Division II opportunities on the line, Guillaume opted to attend college at D3 Augsburg. A place he knew would help him grow not only as a player, but as a man.
I really fell in love with the campus and just getting to know Jack Osberg, who was the head coach at the time. It was someone that I knew that I could play for because football was a priority, but it wasn't the priority.
4 years, one conference title, and countless memories later, Guillaume knew his football journey wasn't over.
To be honest, after my senior year, I wasn't done. I still felt like I wanted to play. I missed it, or I knew I would miss it, and I knew I just didn't have it out of my system.
Enter semi-pro football, a growing league of players willing to pursue passion in lieu of a paycheck.
Welcome to Bob Pates Stadium in Burnsville, Minnesota, Week 2 of Northern Elite Football League action.
After a year with the Minneapolis Lumberjacks, Guillaume was approached about starting a St. Paul-based team.
I remember it was funny, there's a bunch of grown men fighting over color schemes in the Purple Onion about what color uniforms or what color helmets we should have.
With the uniforms decided, they then had to find players to fill them. Damian Rashawn Washington, a former teammate of Guillaume's at Augsburg, would join in for the inaugural season.
I was familiar with seeing him out there and had my interest piqued, and Guillaume just wouldn't stop, to be honest with you. The dude literally picked me up for every practice. But that's the type of friend he is and the type of competitor he is. He literally picked me up for every practice.
We got a good one on tap, the Minnesota Brawlers and the St. Paul Pioneers, a team that has won the championship 7 consecutive years. Should be a great test.
As a teacher in the Minneapolis school district, the team became a stress relief for Guillaume.
Established some connections with students where I'd come limping in on Monday. I'd be in a walking boot or something would happen, and I'd have turf burn all over my arms, and the kids would be like, "What happened to you?"
Guillaume knew when it was time to hang it up, even if it was later than planned.
I met my wife working in Minneapolis Public Schools. I promised her that I would be done when we had kids, and my last year was, I think, when my oldest was 6 and my youngest was 4.
Guillaume's dedication proved fruitful, as the St. Paul Pioneers retired his and teammate Rashawn Washington's jersey in 2013.
They didn't want me to play anymore. They were done with me.
It feels good. You can't act like it doesn't. Now, to take that to the next step and to say that I got to do that with one of my best buds in the world is great. My jersey that was retired, Guillaume, he's actually in the little picture that they put. He's always looking over me there.
For years, the passion was football. Now Guillaume finds joy in working with students at Burnsville High School.
I really enjoy being around the kids and working with the kids and sort of establishing those relationships. That's where I feel like I get my energy.
This qualifies as workman's comp, right?
He's the type of person that you want to connect with your parents, but definitely can connect with your kids too.
As for his future at Burnsville High School, Guillaume plans to approach it like his playing days.
You always try to leave your mark in your programs and what you do, and try to leave programs better than when you got them. And so that's something that I strive to do.
Wow, what a story. Bree Meier in studio to discuss it with us. And Bree, we basically sent you on this wild goose chase to find out about this new athletic director. And it turns out he's a pretty interesting guy. Were you impressed with what you took away?
Absolutely. Most humble guy you could meet. He was really accommodating and just didn't really like the spotlight, you could tell, even though he's kind of been thrust into it a couple times through athletics and through this new position. But he was just really helpful and just willing to talk, and has a really cool background with the semi-pro football, and takes a lot of those things he learned in athletics and translates them into this new job, which he's really passionate about.
He's had a lot of unique experiences for sure. And the crazy thing is that here on BCTV, we've called St. Paul Pioneers football as you saw in some of the clips in the video. And I probably came across his name preparing for some of those broadcasts, but it goes beyond him. His father, I believe, was an athlete as well.
That's correct, yeah, but not in the football realm. He was a soccer player. So his father is South Korean, and he grew up playing soccer. Guillaume Paek, this solid football player-looking guy, grew up playing soccer, and so he has a real passion for that sport as well that he got from his father, and his sons play soccer now, too.
That's unbelievable. And he comes from Minneapolis, Patrick Henry, where he really got, I think, to know students really well, and he learned how to interact with all sorts of different students. And it seems like that experience for him, it's really helped him in his transition here to Burnsville.
He's had a really diverse background and experiences with different students and different kids, and he really credits that to how he handles situations now. He has worked really closely with a lot of these athletes. From a standpoint, he even told me a couple stories where he would let them come over for dinner or something when he worked in Minneapolis, because that might have been what that student needed at that point. So he's got this really incredible background in helping students in any way they can to get them prepared for their next step in life, whether it's in athletics or just school in general.
So how much was he benching in that one benching shot?
I'm not sure. There were definitely a couple plates on there, though. And the best part about that was complete peer pressure. I was able to be like, you can't still do that, can you? And he goes, no, probably not. He sat down, he hammered out like 10 reps. No problem. I guess that's what 11 years of semi-pro football will do for you.
Bree, thanks so much. Great segment, and we look forward to what you have in the future.
Thanks so much.
Bree Meier talking about Guillaume Paek, the new Burnsville athletic director.